I've never loved the idea of making New Year's resolutions. I mean, resolving to do something is great, but why do you have to do it at the new year? To me, that's an arbitrary schedule that is meaningless. Instead, I'm thinking all year about what I want to continue to do, what I need to change, what new things I might want to try. So this year, instead of making resolutions, how about doing something a little different? Let's make a good going jar. Like, good going, Mary. Good going, John. Something like that. Hi, I'm Do-It-Myself Peg, and I've always just pretty much done what I want. Even though my name is Peg, I don't fit into the typical round hole. I'm a square peg for sure. Wikipedia describes my dilemma as square peg in a round hole is an idiomatic expression which describes the unusual individualist who could not fit into a niche of their society. That's me. So today I want to do something a little different because I like to do things a little different and show you a quick and easy way to make a good going jar that you can use all year long. This can be a family project where everybody makes one for themselves, or you can make one for everybody, or you can just make one for yourself. First, we need to start with a jar. To put our way to go or good going messages in, we need a jar. So I'm going to use this one. It says down here, NutraSweet brand sweetener. I hadn't even noticed that. I think I might have bought this jar at a thrift store because I know I didn't buy NutraSweet. I don't use the stuff, but I like it. I like the orange lid. It's big. This should hold all of my good things for the year. If it doesn't, then I'll get another jar or I'll just cram them down in there. But really, I want to use this to celebrate the good things in my life throughout the year, and they don't have to be big. They can be, oh, I saw an owl in the back sitting just outside my backyard, which I did about a month ago. That was great. I just enjoyed watching it until it noticed I was there and it flew away. Things like that make me very happy. They're inspirational and make me feel like I'm just a little speck and there's a whole lot of other world out there. So you need a jar. And I would suggest just using what you have. You could use a spaghetti jar, spaghetti sauce jar. You could use a pickle jar, whatever. You know, leave the label on, take it off. I don't care. And what we're going to do, we're going to make a little pouch out of fabric. You could either staple this along the edges. I've just taken a piece of fabric about that big. I don't know, maybe 6 inches. I don't know what it is. I didn't measure it. And you just fold it over. And I left the edges ragged. I'm going to sew mine just real quickly. But you could staple it here and here. It's your jar. You can do whatever you want. This is going to hold our little pieces of paper so that you don't have to go looking for one. And I'm just going to start sewing this as we talk. And I've knotted my thread, and this is a lovely yellow and white, and I'm just going to do I don't know what you call this, a top stitch. And it's yellow and white, just like the fabric, so, you know, it'll be fine, whatever I end up doing. And I'll go ahead and finish this and show you at the end. So I'm at the end of the second row. So there are my stitches. They're nice and big and sloppy. And that's fine. You don't have to do everything perfectly. And I want to wrap this around the jar. I'm going to take the lid off. Wrap this piece of fabric. It's the same fabric, but you could use something different. You could use string or twine or yarn, whatever. And I'll just fold it over, wrap it around the base here of the jar lid. And I'm going to tie a knot just like that. And I'm pretty sure the lid will still go back on. Yes. So It's not a knot, it's just doubled over. And I think I'll go ahead and put a knot in it though, and have these hanging down. And also my little pouch that's going to hold the papers. Just sew the pouch to these pieces of fabric hanging down. So I have some thread left, so I'm just going to use that. And I'll go through just the back of the pouch. It's doubled, the fabric is doubled. And just give it a couple, come here, needle. Couple little stitches. And go back through one more time. Okay, so that's going to hold it right there. And I will tie off my thread. And knot it and trim that. So we have one side done. Now I'll do the other side. And just because I want to, I'm going to put this other piece of fabric hanging down on top. This one's underneath, and I'll trim that. But I'm going to put this one on top because it has this lovely yellow rose, and I don't want to hide it. So I'm just going to top stitch this one, start in the back, and there'll be room to get in there. So I'm just going to top stitch it down right here. Just put a couple stitches in. That's kind of a lot of fabric to go through. There we go. Now I'm just going to finish it off in the back. And trim that. And I'm going to trim this tail just like that. So now we have our pouch on the jar. One edge is in front and one is in back. Why not? You can do it however you like. Now we have our jar, but we need paper to put in here. And I found a nice pen. I love writing with this. It's a Sarasa clip, Zebra Sarasa, S-A-R-A-S-A clip, 0.5. I love a fine tip pen myself. So I'm going to keep this handy. Just clip it to this. So it's right there where I need it all the time. And all that's left to do is add some paper. And I kind of collect vintage paper. If I see it at a thrift store, I buy it. These are pretty. This is an old apple, cut apple design. And since I love to eat apples, that's very nice. This was a bunch of geese that were popular in the 80s. And this is some pretty little embossed pink flowers. So we need little strips of paper to write down our accomplishments or our feel-good messages throughout the year. And I'm just going to cut some little strips. And I want them to be fun and pretty paper that I can enjoy. So now I'll do some of the geese. And it'll be fun to take these out of the jar You can look at them throughout the year if you want, or you can just save them up and look at them at the end of the year, whatever you want to do. And whatever paper you choose, if you like the paper, it'll be fun to take a look whenever you look at it again, to remind yourself of all of the positive things in your life for the year. And I love ragged edges, whether it's fabric or paper. Love it. Okay, now we're going to cut this into some strips. Just like that. So we have all of these pretty papers. And now I'm just going to randomly pick them up. I want them to be mixed up. I don't want to grab the same one twice in a row. So I'm just going to kind of stack them up into a little pile. We'll put them inside our little pouch. And put the pin on there. And I think that's a sweet little way to go, good going jar. What do you think? Are you going to make one? I hope so. After you've made your jar, go ahead, write down something that you've enjoyed or that you feel like you accomplished something and you want to remember it. I'm going to do that now. And here's mine. I wrote down, made a YouTube video today. Good going jar. Will you make your own good going jar? I hope so. I think it's a sweet way to help keep track of all the positive things that we have in our lives. Again, you can look at them every week, every month, whatever you want to do. Wait till the end of the year. It's your jar. You can do with it what you like. But it's a good reminder to be grateful and to be happy by paying attention and recording all of the good that happens throughout the year. If you like this video, consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to my channel. And I'll see you next time. Thanks, bye.